is usually a competitive channel, but I really want to talk about how good the sprites are in Fortnite. Now, you know, if you've played a couple of games of competitive, you'll know that sprites are not a part of that at all. So this seems like a little bit of a left field, but I genuinely think the idea on implementing them into Fortnite is really genius, and it's something that I hope Epic continues to do going forward. So looking at Fortnite's player base, obviously, like, you know, maybe just some people enjoy this season, but you've seen like a real uptick here of players. This is obviously on average, and this is just across the game generally. This isn't like in battle royale modes or whatever. You can see obviously here, this is kind of where like Simpsons season starts. You've got a new chapter 7. And you know, if you look at the average, it is basically just down. This is season 2 start, I think, which obviously has a peak and it goes down. And then you can see there's like a very kind of good sharp increase here to where we're currently at. People are obviously very much so enjoying these sprites in pubs. Now, I did an entire video titled The TikTokification of Fortnite, and the summary of that video, in short, you should go watch it anyway. It's a great video. But the summary of that video was basically that no one really cares about battle royale anymore. And it's not because no one cares about the format. It's just that the main draw to that was the fact that if you win a game, oh my god, it's such a big accomplishment. Back in 2017, 2018, winning a game, getting a victory royale really meant something. But because the game has been out for 8 years or 9 years almost, oh my god, have we been playing it that long? Holy, that's just hit me there. It's been out for so long, getting a victory royale doesn't really mean that much anymore. You know, if you go into pubs and win a game, I'm sure you're not getting this big adrenaline boost unless it's literally like the first game you've ever played. And even if it's the first game you've ever played, you're probably going to go against a bunch of bots, so you're still not getting that big high, the dopamine rush that you would get back in 2017 when everyone was trash at the game and everyone was new and it was this big exciting thing. So of course Fortnite across the kind of years have tried to find new ways to get people interested and make the game faster. So, you know, Reload is a really good example of that. Of course, the games are just quicker, there's more dopamine in every single fight. Blitz would probably be a good example of that for the zero build players. It's 5-minute matches. You get in, you fight, you win, you get out, you repeat. Just kind of constant cycle, which is much quicker, right? You're not waiting a whole 20-minute match doing a bunch of nothing to win a game that nobody really cares about. So I think the idea that they've come up with now of adding sprites in, which is basically a collectible, is kind of genius because that gives the battle royale genre something more to play with. Now, as someone who loves collectibles, I'll pick one up. I'm a Pokemon card man myself. Who isn't? So it's not just for investment. I actually just buy these. I love them. Now, as someone who's a Pokemon card collector, you know, there's goods and bad sides of collecting things. The positive, of course, is that you get a big dopamine hit. If you're opening packs and you get something that you really want, it's amazing. Such a good feeling, of course. There's like this dopamine rush. There's an emotional response that you get from getting a good collectible in whatever that may be, right? If it's cards or if it's, in Fortnite's case, sprites, of course. But the negatives are also very big in collectibles. If you've ever opened a bunch of Pokemon cards, if you've opened like a box and you've not pulled something good from it and you've just wasted like 140, 150 pounds or you know, however much it is in your currency, you will know the feeling is crushing because you spent all this money, you spent all this time, and you've not got anything out of it at all. So there's obviously positives of dopamine, but the negatives is that you can also feel like I've just regretted spending all of this money for absolutely nothing. Like, could I have just bought the card I wanted rather than randomly opening and stuff? But when it comes to Fortnite and with these sprites and the collectibles in this way, there isn't really any of the negatives. There's just all of the positives. So this is great. You go in, you load in. The one thing you spend is your time because, of course, there's RNG involved in trying to find the correct sprite, right? You got to open a bunch of chests. You got to look. You got to hope someone doesn't kill you. You might be able to kill someone else, eliminate them out, grab their sprite. Obviously, there's a lot of really positive ways you can do this, but there's no downsides outside of just spending your time. You're not spending your money. You can even say the same thing about skins, right? Like I don't know. I mean, obviously there are people who collect skins out there, but because there's so many, it's almost impossible to collect them all on your one account. I don't know how much that would cost if that was... Let me know if there is anyone. Is there anyone who's done that? That would be insane. Either way, you know, if you're going to do that, there's a huge opportunity cost. A new skin comes out, you have to buy it. You kind of get locked into this cycle where you're feeling like you're spending a lot of money. Same thing, of course, you know, with any other collectible. But with sprites and implementing this into the battle royale format, all you need to do is play the game. If you play the game, you can hunt, you can find it, and it gives you a secondary objective that people now actually care about, unlike the victory royale, which as we already mentioned, nobody really cares about whatsoever. And of course, there's like a constant release schedule of these as well. Like, it seems like every 2 weeks or so, adding new ones into the game, so it keeps people coming back over and over again. Now, I don't really know what they're going to do season to season. Like, are you going to be able to hold on to your collection? Are you going to be able to show, you know, have a reward for collecting all of them going into the next season? Are they just going to get rid of them altogether going to the next season? I don't think that would be a good idea whatsoever. But it's very, very clear that the idea of adding some form of collectibles into the game, whilst also ensuring that's just in battle royale so that people can keep playing, is a very good idea, and it's something that obviously the people are responding to well, looking at the player counts. So I hope it's something that they keep doing going forward into the future. Great idea. Like the video. It's not a competitive video for once. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe, of course. Bye-bye.